Long ago, before the roads were cut through the hills and before radios carried voices across valleys, there lay a village called Kajani, resting between red earth and a wide, patient river. The river was called Moyo, meaning heart, because it never dried, even in the cruelest seasons. Elders said Moyo flowed not only with water, but with memory. In Kajani lived a young woman named Abani. She was known for her gentle laughter and the way her hands moved, steady, careful, whether she was weaving baskets, grinding millet, or tending to the sick. People said Abani carried peace wherever she walked. Yet behind her calm eyes lived a quiet sadness she never spoke of. Across the river lived a young man named Kamau, a fisherman and canoe maker. His hands were strong and scarred from years of work, but his spirit was soft. Kamau loved the river the way one loves an old friend. At dawn, when the mist hugged the water, he would speak to Moyo as if it could answer. One season, after the harvest moon, Kamau crossed the river to Kajani to sell fish. That was the first day he saw Abani. She was at the market, arranging gourds of honey. When their eyes met, time slowed, as if the air itself had decided to listen. Kamau felt something unfamiliar tighten in his chest. Abani looked away first, embarrassed by the sudden warmth rising to her face. From that day, Kamau found reasons to cross the river more often. Abani noticed too. They spoke little at first, just greetings, shy smiles, but the river watched, and the elders noticed. In Kajani, love was not just between two people. It belonged to families, clans, and ancestors. Abani's father, Baba Sefu, was a respected elder, strict and proud. He had already promised Abani's hand to Jabari, a wealthy cattle owner from a distant village. Jabari had many cows, many wives in waiting, and little patience for gentleness. When Abani learned of the promise, her heart grew heavy. She went to the river at dusk, sat on its bank, and wept silently. Kamau found her there. He did not ask questions. He simply sat beside her, letting the silence speak. When Abani finally told him everything, Kamau listened with the care of a man holding something fragile. "I have nothing to offer your father," Kamau said quietly. "No cattle. No land. Only my hands, my honesty, and whatever love I carry." Abani looked at him and said, "Sometimes love is the only wealth that does not rot." But love alone, they knew, was not enough to challenge tradition. The village elders soon heard whispers. One evening, Baba Sefu called Abani before him. "Love," he said, "is not a feeling. It is a responsibility. Jabari can protect you. Kamau cannot." Abani bowed her head, but her voice did not tremble. "Father, protection without kindness is another form of hunger." Her words shocked the elders. Baba Sefu's face hardened. "You will not see that fisherman again," he declared. That night, Kamau was warned by his own clan to stay away. "Trouble," they said, "drowns even strong swimmers." Days passed. The river flowed as always, but something in it felt restless. Then the drought came. The sun burned the fields, cracked the soil, and turned streams into dust. Only Moyo remained, thinner now, slower, but alive. Villages upstream began to fight over water. One night, during a violent storm far away in the hills, a landslide blocked part of the river. At dawn, Moyo began to rise, angry and confused. Children screamed. Huts near the bank shook. The river threatened to swallow Kajani whole. Panic spread. The elders gathered, helpless. It was Kamau who understood. "The river is blocked," he shouted. "If we do not clear the rocks, it will take the village." But the blockage lay upstream, beyond dangerous currents. Without waiting for permission, Kamau tied a rope around his waist and stepped into the water. Others hesitated, afraid. Abani ran forward. "If he goes alone, he will die," she cried. She grabbed the rope and tied it to a tree, anchoring him. Then other men followed her example. United, they entered the river. For hours they fought the current, cutting roots, shifting stones, bleeding and coughing, until finally the water broke free. Moyo sighed and returned to its path. Kamau collapsed on the bank, exhausted. Abani held his head in her lap, ignoring the watching eyes of the village. Baba Sefu saw everything. That night, as fires burned low, The elders met again. Baba Cephas stood and spoke, his voice heavy. "I thought love was proven by wealth," he said. "Today I saw love proven by sacrifice." He turned to Kamau. "You protected my daughter and my people. That is a bride price greater than cattle." Tears ran down Abani's face. The marriage to Jabari was dissolved. Some traditions bent, others broke, but the village survived. Abani and Kamau were married by the river, barefoot, with water touching their ankles. The elders poured libation, asking the ancestors to witness a new understanding. Years passed. Kajani flourished again. Children grew up hearing the story of the river that remembered love. And whenever young lovers doubted themselves, elders would say, "Love is not loud promises. Love is the hand that stays when the water rises." True love is not measured by wealth, status, or tradition alone, but by sacrifice, kindness, and the courage to protect one another, even when it is difficult.